Oh-de-do. Hello. Hi, Kenny. You are the first one in. As a matter of fact, it doesn't even show there's anybody here yet. Whoops, let me fix that. That isn't going to do it, is it? Let's try this. See if I can get rid of that glare. Let's try this. Hey, there we go. That gets rid of it. Hello, everybody coming in. Can everybody hear me? Hi, Sargat. Hi, Heather. Hi, Mia Bear. Hi, Pat. Hi, May. Hi, Elizabeth. Hello, Cindy. And hi, Darlene. Yes, you are a mod here, Zarget. Oh, well, no worries. No worries. I know that we cannot be everywhere at all times. Hi, Louise. Hello, Joey. Hello to everybody coming in. Thank you so much for being here. And I know I did a live. I showed it to you yesterday, but hopefully there are a few people who haven't seen it yet. So I've got my new book, Front and Center. Actually, front anyway. Not quite certain about center. See if I can work on that. Silly camera. I still can't get my camera to back off. I've tried everything I know. Hi, Robin. We're going to color in this today. I don't know exactly what we're going to choose yet, but hi, Susie. And I hope, Susie, that you get whatever it is worked out so that you can stream soon. Hi, Becca. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. And thank you all so much for choosing to spend some time with me on Sunday. And all that kind of good stuff. Thank you, Pat. Thank you. I'm particularly, I wish that the color, I don't know if the color picks up the way that, for you guys, the way that it does on my screen, but on my screen, everything looks sort of washed out from what it is. It's really a vibrant, colorful cover. So, no, actually, OBS has trouble with YouTube. You are better, and the problem isn't the OBS, because I have OBS that I use for my pre-records. What the problem usually is that most laptop computers don't have the computing power necessary for OBS. You need to have at least an 8th generation system or a 7th generation system Intel processor. But the problem is really the RAM. Most of us only have 6 gigabytes of RAM. You need at least 16 to get it to work at all, and it works much better with 32. Hi, Dev. And Dev, are you going to go on after me today? Looking to, so at any rate, you're using a desktop Mac. Yeah, but that doesn't answer the question of how much RAM do you have, Susie? That's really the thing. The OBS is an absolute beast. Oh, good. Okay, Deb. I'll pass it off to you then, with links and stuff like that. OBS is an absolute beast as far as using it for most of us, and that's why you really need a gaming computer, one that's designed. And this is I found this out because I tried to use my OBS for streaming, and I simply can't do it. I don't have enough computing power behind it. Um, because it is a beast of a user. You could try using the Streamlabs version. Streamlabs version of OBS is supposed to be better, at least according to Nick Nimmin, which is who I watch. And but really, you don't need the OBS for live streaming. Just go straight through YouTube. That's what I do. I never have any buffering. I've never had any problems at all. Hi, Melinda. Good to see you. And hi, everybody. I keep going the wrong direction here. It feels like it should go this way because on mine it's to go that way. Hi, Nana Mo. Hello, hello. It is so good to see you. Good to see you too, Victoria. I saw your test stream yesterday, but I think I missed your live. And I don't use anything. I just go straight from I just simply, using my computer, I just log in to YouTube, or, I just bring YouTube up because I'm constantly logged in, and just hit go live with my camera plugged into my computer. You don't need any special software or anything like that. You just go straight. And YouTube changed that about, I don't know, it was probably 6 months ago, maybe a little more than that. It was right when everybody started to stream because suddenly they could. You didn't have to have special software or special anything to do it anymore. You just go straight through, yeah, and that's what Deb does too. I think that's what May does. And most of us who stream just go straight through YouTube. Anyway, okay. Yay. Thank you to all of the people pouring in the room. Thank you for the thumbs up. I really appreciate that. And yeah, and Zarget did when she did streams too. Just go, you don't need any special software. Just plug your webcam into your computer and hit YouTube go live, and you are in good shape. Thank you to the mods. Thank you, mods, for all you do. And can we have a hand for the mods who protect us from people that don't want to be here, approve messages that the system reads as weird for some reason. And it's been being really strange lately, with the things that it flags. And at any rate, so is there anybody who didn't see my flip through yesterday or hasn't seen the video? The new book really has turned out beautifully. And okay, no worries, Deb. And thank you, Becky. I saw that. I can hardly read the screen from this distance, but at any rate, so I thought that we would choose a picture, and yes, Sarget, this is the one, and here's the story behind this particular cover. For the first time, I went with a drawing that was not colored by my friend Virginia, and here's what happened. About 2 weeks ago, Facebook put up one of those friend anniversary things. And it was for a lady by the name of Jodi Ann Savage. And for those of you active on Facebook, you may remember her. Um, we lost Jodi Ann to the flu in early 2019, really, or 18, really unexpectedly. I mean, it was like one day she had been to the doctor, gotten medicine. The next day, her heart gave out. And this was the only image of mine that she had ever colored. And she was a really good colorist and only had a 200 DPI picture of it. And in commercial publishing, you need at bare minimum, you need 300. I usually get all my scans done in 600 DPI, and then I go ahead and compress them down after I vectorized them. So I did not know how the cover would print using this image at only 200 DPI. The first thing I had to do is I had to get it to 300 DPI. So I used it at 2, brought it in, created a document, saved a PNG document, saved it at 300 DPI, then used that to cut it down for the cover. And I didn't know if it was going to print well or not. So that's why I didn't release the book the minute that I had it, or the minute that I could. Then last night, in my infinite stupidity, I went ahead and released the book to Amazon, and it got kicked this morning at 5 o'clock because I had added words to the title. And after you submit a book, you cannot do that. And I had added the 48 fan favorite designs to the title of the book. And they kicked it this morning. So I had to take it out, had to take this out of the title part of it on the screen and then resubmit it. So hopefully they'll take it this time. And if they don't, that will tell me that the other problem might be that I went ahead and used Extraordinary Coloring Books for Extraordinary People as a subtitle. And that might be breaking an Amazon rule. I'm not sure. So I'll know if they send the book live, I'll know that I got away with it. And if not, then I'll have to take that out too. So Amazon has really cracked down on what they call keyword stuffing. You're not allowed to stuff keywords into your titles anymore because the publishers all complained that the independent users were doing that. So anyway, so that's a lot more than you really wanted to know about it. Sorry. But at any rate, as I was telling everybody yesterday, the way that I structure my books, there is always a, whoops, hang on. I've knocked my pencils down. Don't do that. There is always, the camera is crooked, so let me fix that. There is always a way. So this was page 1. And then I always put 3 proof pages that have all, or proof pages at any rate, that have all of the images in them on the first 5 pages. So that way, when you go to look in the book on Amazon, you can see every image in the book because that way you know what you're buying. And so this is all of the images that are in the book. There are 48 total, 16 on each page. All kinds of good stuff. My list of books that I've published. So I think that's cool. Uh-oh. Hang on, Zarget. I'm fixing that right this very second. Autofocus is off. Oh, Zarga, you were the one who was going to strangle my autofocus. And so I just turned it back off. Um, and so this is the title of this book belongs to. And then, of course, follow 48 of my beautiful mandalas that I have created. These are taken out and or adapted from my previous publications and have really never been presented this way before. So this is the first time that they're being printed just simply as standalone without all of the other sort of frou-frou stuff that I normally put in my drawings. So, and so this is what you will get. Now the book should be, hopefully, if I've got my fingers crossed, should be available tomorrow on Amazon worldwide. And once again, like I say, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. And because the minute that I get the thing that it passed, then I can get a live link. And as soon as it passes through the final checks, I'll be going through and replacing all of the places where I've said on or before May 10th. I'll replace those with a live link. But this is the one that I really want to do today. So we may come back to it. You saw me do this one as I think I was testing out the Black Widows. And I think you saw me do this one with Inktense. And this is the other one that I thought I might do. This is hands down the most popular drawing that I have ever drawn, is this one. I've sold more copies of that in all of its formations than any other. So that tells you how people feel about mandalas. This is gorgeous, colored in my video that I did. Tina Norton she did that one and did a great job, as did Jillian Adams with this one. And that's why I add those colored versions into my videos so that you can see and maybe be inspired by what other people saw. Christina Kane did this one. And people who don't like mandalas have told me that they like mine. So I just take that as a compliment. And this was, I had fun with this. This was an exercise in perspective, and I really loved it. And I colored this one just because with watercolor markers in one of my books. And this is one of the ones that Sammy showed, and that sort of started me thinking that I should do a mandala only book as well. So thank you, Mia Bear. And oh, Victoria. Yeah. Yeah, you can do some interesting things digitally. Absolutely. I never was able to make digital work for me, so that's why I hand draw everything. But if you can do it, go for it. And this one also has been a fan. Well, they're all fan favorites. So this was another one that is one of my favorites. And I love this one. It's been a million different ways, and they're all gorgeous. Shara, I did not. Can you repeat it? Thank you, Louise. Here's the secret to drawing a mandala. Start with a seed, draw with intent, see what happens. That's all it takes. Is Shara? Did you send me? Did you send me a message somewhere, or was it here? Okay. And here's another one. Oh, on IG. No, I haven't logged into IG. I try I try to only log into IG once a day toward the end of the day, because the minute I look at there's something about my phone screen that causes my eyesight to go completely out of focus, and I cannot get the focus back without 8 hours sleep. So if I start my day with looking at what happened on Instagram, my vision is shot for the day, and I don't know why. It's got something to do with the screen, but because I have this little bitty screen on my phone. There's the cover image. Okay, all right. I'll read it after my stream. No one is useless in this world who lightens the burdens of another. My favorite saying. And this one. And this one. Reading glasses don't help them. I tried that. Um, it doesn't have to do with the magnification. It has to do with the blue screen. It's like it burns my eyes. Um, that's exactly how it feels. It feels like it burns my eyes. And there is another one. I love how simple, but yet how complex this one turned out. This is one of my favorites. I loved drawing this, as I loved drawing this. But then you know that I am, uh, I like symmetry. So, and that I think is why the symmetrical designs have always appealed to me, because I do like symmetry. This, the coloring on this, I still am still so amazed by what Elizabeth Siegel did with this, with one pencil, just black, and just used it at various weights, and it was just gorgeous. And Virginia did a great job coloring that one in the video. I'm just flipping through it so that those that haven't seen it can. And once again, it is available now as a PDF download, all 48 images. And Donna bought it yesterday along with a large number of people. She printed hers out and said it prints perfectly. Once again, to avoid double margining, just simply make sure that you're printing it so that it has the right margins. And if you're using 8.5 by 11-inch paper, it will probably print in the center. And there's that one. And there is that one. And there is the last one. And then, as with all of my books, now I did not put the 5x7s in because that would be silly with round mandalas. But I did put in the 2 medium testing pages. So those are here. And of course it is CreateSpace paper, so I will not come to your house and beat you if you want to copy it onto, cardstock or something like that. And then this, of course, is a little advertisement page for all of my other books, including my travel size books and my the fact that I'm in both treasury books. So all the books I've drawn, and then to follow this up next week, because I was working on it a little bit this morning, will be a best of sampler that will have the five of the 10. What I did is I chose the 10 top fan favorites from each of my 8 books for 80 drawings, and then I randomly selected 5 from each book, and so 40 drawings will go into the fan favorites best of CLAldridge art first edition, which will be like a sampler, and then the second edition will have the other 5. So that way, for those people who don't maybe want to invest in all 8 of the books, they can have some of all of the books in just 2 volumes, or 3 if they choose this one as well. So let's color something. This is the one I want to color. Is that okay? Thank you, Mia Bear. And thank you, Nika. Hi. How are you? I know I always miss saying hi to you, Nika. And hello, Michelle. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Okay. So a color. How about a color? I have gotten kind of fond of, and I want to show it to you, a color combination that I absolutely love. And I actually used it here on this. Oh, by the way, this is what I colored on the live stream yesterday. And I did go back in. I darkened up all the colors and smoothed everything out because it was looking a little rough after the stream. And then I did these, and I love this color combination. That is the Indian Throne Blue, the Copenhagen Blue, the True Blue, and there's the cream in between. And I just love this color combo. So I'm going to do that in this, besides which I hardly ever choose blue for anything. So I thought blue would be a good thing for me to choose. And of course, I'll start with the color that you can't see, which is probably too bad. So let me just be quick about this. And then we'll move on to a color that you actually can see. And actually, I think I'll only do about half of this flower in this color and that or in this right this very second. They don't want you guys to be bored. And also, for those of you that did not see it, Shara, let me ask you a question. Did it have to do with the fact that my address was showing in the video? Because I got a message and I fixed that, by the way. Okay, yeah. I got a message from Shannon this morning, and yes, I did go back in and I edited that out. And thank you very much for the heads up, because that it just occurred to me that that's what your message was about. So this, by the way, guys, is this gorgeous, gorgeous sign that Shara's sister Shannon LaFever made for me, and it is for my channel, and it features the dragon that I just put in the shop recently, which is the Honey I'm Home dragon, and and then flowers that she colored and cut out and put on this sign from my various books. And uh, then, wait a second. I'm sorry, something just popped up on my screen. Oh dear. People are actually commenting like religious things on my videos. That is so weird. Okay. Uh, and it says off to feed the dragons. Will return shortly for when I need to take a little break. And it is so beautiful. This sign, I absolutely love it. And then she also, well, you'll need to watch the test, but she also sent me this beautiful glass pen, which I took for a test drive this morning with black ink. I used black ink, and I tried it yesterday with blue ink or white ink, and it wasn't thin enough. But I was able to do it with black ink, and so I wrote, "Now is the time to act boldly and do all that you dream of doing in your life. You are not getting any younger." I was just sort of stream of consciousness, stream, stream, stream of consciousnessing, I guess, and that's what I wrote. So anyway, so what I was doing, uh, besides wasting time, no, that's dioxazine purple. You see how bad it is. I actually have to like Throne blue, true blue, and wrong, wrong, Copenhagen. Oh, for heaven's sakes. How come I can never find the Copenhagen blue? Because if it was a snake, it would bite me. Hi, Katie. Welcome, welcome. Katie, there was something I wanted to tell you, and I don't remember what it is. It will come to me. I know it will. But it had something to do. Oh, I know what it was. I know what it was. You remember in yesterday's stream, and you had said that that black paper that was in that Nathaniel Wake book was specifically designed to repel bleed through? I just wanted to give you the secret of how that works. Nathaniel, like most of us that publish through Amazon, basically all that is black ink on the back of the page. It does not do a thing to prevent bleed through. It just simply doesn't show it. Okay, so this is the Indian Throne blue. And all I'm going to do is put it out here on the very, very tips. This is such a highly pigmented pencil in the Prismacolors. It is just amazing. Okay, that's a little weird. My camera is today. There we go. Is that clear for everybody? Am I in focus? It looks like I'm in focus from here. It's just, a lot of people just sort of assumed that that's what it did, but it really doesn't. And all it does do is run up the cost of printing for the rest of us, because we all know that ink is so expensive. But that's a conversation I've had in my artist group a couple of times, but nobody wants to talk about it. So the Indian Throne Blue out at the very end, it's super, super pigmented, and which is why I'm using it really quite sparingly. And I'm not even putting any pressure on the pencil, and you can see how it goes down. It's just a ridiculous. It's like almost like it's pure pigment, this pencil. Then if you use the Copenhagen blue and just come in a little bit, and sort of fill in that triangle. I like to use bold colors when you guys are watching, because it shows up better on the streams. Okay, and then I switch down to the true blue and sort of go in just like that. And there's a trick to this that I will show you, and it's so cool. I was just playing last night because once again I had, I had been on Instagram, and I had blown out my eyesight. So I am going to, one of these days, I'll have the wherewithal to get a new cell phone. I've had my iPhone 5 since the day that iPhone 5s came out. So, and now we're on what, 10? Is that the generation of iPhone that we're on now? Okay, so that was the Indian Throne. This is the Copenhagen. And I'm just really working it back the other direction. Because this is a bit of magic, the way that this will work. And you know me, I like magic. I like magic coloring. Fun result. Because it looks like a mess. It looks like a hot mess, and then you'll watch it like come together. It's like, oh my goodness. What just happened? Now I hope it works. Okay, now that I've done that, I'm going to add a little bit more of the cream. Still just using like a medium pressure, because Prismacolors are really soft. All right, now I'm going to grab the white. And I am going to mix and blend these colors, these blues right here, together. Just only as far as I've extended them so far. Do these ones. And almost what happens is that you end up losing the black lines. You know, that separate the flower petals, but we're going to get those back. And then you just go over the whole thing with the white. We're still in the hot mess stage. So you get it to looking like that. And then you take your indenthrone again. And just restore your lines in. And once you go all the way around and give it a second to sort of all settle in, it looks really good. At least it looks really good in person. Allowing that it does not look as good under the camera. Okay, so we'll add a little bit more. Oops, actually, where were we going? We were with the white. And I think I may need to sharpen my white pencil too. Excuse me. I just think it makes the prettiest color of blue. And you don't often see me using blue in my coloring because it's not, when I was a kid, it was my favorite color. But when I got older, it became more like a forest green was my favorite color. I think I got cured of my love of blue when I had my room painted entirely blue. And it, I don't know, it felt like a boy's room. It was fine. I mean, it was pretty, but it had pretty, cornflower sheet. You know, they had pretty blue cornflowers on them. Yes, yes, Mom Wilkes. This is my new book, and hang on a second, and I'll show you the cover. It's still not on Amazon as of because I screwed up yesterday, thinking that I was helping myself, and all I did was cause a further delay, which is sometimes the way. It was shaping up to be such a magical day. I knew something had to happen to bring me back to reality. And I'm just turning the pencil a little bit so I can keep getting a sharp edge, you know. Okay, once again, I'm going to turn it a little. Oh, actually, I was going to show Mom Wilkes the cover. There it is. It's real. It's in my hands. I actually have it. I'm zoomed a little close for it right now, but yes, thank you guys. You know, you guys are the best for thumbs up, and I thank you so much because that, and that means that I was, and actually I can tell you for a fact that it works because I was looking at my analytics because streamers have access to traffic analytics and stuff like that. And more and more, my traffic is coming from suggestions. And so it's still just a small percentage, but it's growing month over month. And that is wonderful. It means that people outside the coloring community, but who might have an interest in art or in coloring or in watercoloring or in a particular medium that I'm using, like Inktense or something like that, are getting suggestions, and those thumbs up are a part of how the YouTube algorithm decides who to suggest. Nana, no, wait. You have cake too? Oh, a Victoria sponge. Now, I've seen those on, my favorite show, The Great British Bake Off. Oh my goodness. You guys are so lucky to have that show. We Americans have been trying to copy it, but The Great British Bake Off is great. It is great. Of course, BBC is, I watch a lot of PBS here in Virginia. And in Virginia, the PBS, which are the public broadcasting stations, are owned by the school districts. So there are about 17 school districts that own all of our stations. And we have 5 PBS stations that are among the finest in the world. Ours actually produce content that other stations buy, and as do a lot of other stations, or areas. But I get to watch the Great British Baking Show. I don't get it the same season as you guys do. I'm watching last season's this season, but at least I get to see it. Okay, now I'm doing the Copenhagen blue. And once again, I'm really not putting any pressure on the pencils at all, but they're so highly pigmented. And you'll notice that on Amazon paper, I'm not getting any of the little white spots or anything like that. And now the true blue. Just a tiny bit. Elizabeth Siegel taught me. I sort of figured out how to do this from her. Because she uses this method to color chrome. Not shiny chrome, but dull chrome, like dull chrome, huh? Metal. And then you can control how shiny it is by how far you blend the outer colors up. So if you don't blend them at all, it can look really white and shiny. I don't see anybody shouting at me this time. And also, from last Sunday's stream, I owe you guys all a huge apology because I realized that my failure to look up at the screen did rise to the level of annoying. And so I'm trying to do better today by at least looking up every now and again and looking for those big caps that say, Christine, show us the whatever that you wanted to see. Oh, the turning the page upside, Preston. That was it. We wanted to see the upside down version of that drawing. Cakes. My downfall. I cannot have them in the house. I eat cake. And yet, I made those brownies. You know, by the way, I ate all those cupcakes, my birthday cupcakes, in 3 days. Told you I have no discipline around cake. But it took me a week to eat that pan of brownies. Because apparently I do have discipline on brownies. Okay, so now, whoops, I wanted to add just a tad more of the cream. I love the cream pencil in the Prismacolors. It is just such a versatile pencil, like the espresso. And I am going to sharpen that white pencil. I don't want it to have a point, but I do want it to have a little bit of a, so I can get in the tips. And once again, I'm not putting a lot of pressure on the pencil. I'm just using it to sort of blend all of that in. Feel like I'm being very zen today. Okay, and then we do the magic part and just bring those together. I just love the way that it just blends enough of the blue to make it interesting without, overwhelming you. Fortunately, toner is so much less expensive than ink. At least I think it is, Donna, isn't it? Or yeah, Donna. Sorry. I actually looked at inkjet printer or laser printers for just that reason. But then and also because I wanted to do some gold foiling, and you almost have to have a laser jet to do, or a laser printer to do that. Good morning, Becky. How very nice to see you. And to anybody that has come in, hi, Christiane. And Charlotta, if you are here, hello to you too. I realized I forgot I didn't get to say hi to Charlotta yesterday. So hopefully she's somewhere within earshot and knows that I was not ignoring her intentionally. I'm trying to be gentle with the brushing off of things because the Prismacolor dust does actually, if you hit it just right, it will in fact streak your page or color your page. And that is the thing about, you know, coloring symmetrical designs. Um, it can be kind of mindless. And sometimes that's what you want from your coloring, which is why I try to draw all kinds of different designs, not just mandalas or symmetrical designs, but also, the creatures and all of those other kinds of things too. Because I don't want to be stuck as being known as just one kind of artist. Excuse me. Okay. Speaking of artists, how many people who have been following the Curiosity Inc. and the Potter's House saga have also been following Joshua Alexander? And if you don't remember who Joshua Alexander is, he is the guy, he's Alex's best friend, and he's the one who remodeled the kitchen in the Potter's house. Pat, you do? Is that guy not freaking incredible or what? I mean, I feel like, starting to watch Curiosity Inc. Incorporated has like just is just the gift that keeps on giving. I watched Joshua paint that bear, the grizzly bear. And for those who don't know, Josh is an artist, and he is, he paints, he sculpts, he does both the bizarre and the incredible, and he makes he makes great videos. He makes really fun videos, and so he did. But and he's a finger painter. He paints with his hands, and he uses acrylic medium. And I watched him paint a grizzly bear. It's a 3-minute video, and it is just amazing. It is just amazing. And last night he was celebrating 15,000 viewers. And by the way, when Alex first introduced him, I don't think he had nearly that many. But so, once again, Alex has proved beneficial to other people, and so his gifts just keep giving, I guess is what I mean by that. And of course, uh, Josh it's My Hands Gallery. It's actually Joshua Alexander, but on Instagram he is My Hands Gallery, but he is also Ushitat, which is U-S-I-H. Wait, Ushi Ushitat, which is a word in Cree, and he's from the Cree reserve. I guess in Canada they call them reserves. He's from that particular tribe, although I don't think he lives there. But he's married. He's just a sweet, wonderful guy, and funny. Oh my gosh, hilariously funny in one of those sort of deadpan kind of ways. So last night he goes on live to do a 15,000, celebrating 15,000 subscribers giveaway. And you know what he was giving away? A painting. Sorry, I didn't mean to get off screen. He's giving away a painting, and Josh's paintings cost $1,000. So I'd say that was one heck of a prize. I know the guy who won it thought so, or who won one. And it could be either one that he's already done, valued at that, or a commission. So I'm having a little trouble. Oops, sorry. I keep going the wrong way. Having way trouble keeping the right way. There we go. I can't actually see this. So I'm just sort of winging it. Normally I would be right down on top of it with my head. Okay, and just like that, that is done. And do you see how, doesn't that give you just the coolest, um, like perspective of depth? Like you're falling into the center of the flower. Uh, Thank you. Okay. Yeah, when you start messing with your own circadian rhythms, you're setting yourself up. Okay, now let's turn this over, and so that I can do the center. And what color should the center be? Should it be yellows? I think it should be yellows. And since I'm the one with the pencils in hand, I vote yellow. So we'll do a little yellow to start out with. Just a little bit. And then we are going to grab I can grab it. Oh, my little sort of starting to get very stumpy green. Do these little areas around in here just to give a hint of some green. Down there, and maybe a little bit in some of the yellow, just sort of on top of it. And then we will also take, wrong side, dark umber. That'll probably work. Just doing a tiny bit down here in the shadow portions. Just being very, very light. Just to give it a little goose. Just. See, I actually sound like I know what I'm doing, but I really don't. I'm just winging it like all of the rest of you. Just sort of adding a little bit. And this is really a way too bright of a green, even though it's a dark green. I think what I want is more of a, like a leafy green, or maybe even a marine green. Let's try that. Yeah, that's better. Marine green is more of like a greenish gray. So it's almost like a shadow in one step. Like a leaf green and its shadow in one step. Just to make it look a little bit more like it's actually got some texture to it. Okay. Now, what color for this? Purple, 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 or Becca, I'm sorry. I hope that you feel better soon. And yes, honey, lay down. And I'm really glad that you could be here too. Kenny, okay. Oh, color swatching. Okay. Lavender. Lavender, I think lavender would be a good shade. Lavender would be a good shade. Okay. So let's choose a light. See what we've got. Yep, look like 3 lavenders, all right. A light, a medium, and a dark. Okay. So let's try the light. Just being very light, but still putting some nice pigment down. And once again, thank everybody for joining me today. If you have just come in and don't already know, we are coloring from my new book, which I just drew and, well, I didn't just draw it, but I just released it. Whoops. And one of these days I will learn my left from my right when it's backwards and upside down like it is on the screen. And we are coloring this particular image. This book is currently available on Etsy. It will be available on Amazon worldwide, hopefully sometime tomorrow. And there is a link to purchase this book directly in the description right below the video. Susie, I know one of the things that I miss about not being able to use my OBS is that I can't put in, during lives, I can't put in the cool, my name is CLAldridge Art and or Christine Aldridge, and here's where you can reach me on Instagram and Twitter, and I'm just trying to decide what it is that I'm doing here and where I'm leaving a lighter shade. Kind of have to decide that sooner rather than later. I think I am going to go ahead and make it so that the leaves are curving and this is the lightest part. Okay, that will work. So if I use this as sort of my near point, just sort of, and all I'm really doing right now is what Sammy calls color mapping, just sort of testing out where I'm going with the, before I actually get to applying any real color. But I think that this will work. Oh, I think that was my darkest shade, wasn't it? So if I use the darkest shade in here, I really am sort of thrilled with the way that centered flower turned out. I love it when a plan like that comes together. And I do have to admit that I tested it yesterday, so I was ready for today. I knew what I wanted to do. I just didn't know what colors I wanted to do it in. And the blue turned out very nicely. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to the lighter shade, which is really just more pink. Just adding in another light layer. Oops. I think I forgot to put in the second layer on these two. Okay. And now the third layer, or the third color on this one. And then we'll step back and have a look at it and see if that's the direction we want to go. I have to say it looks pretty good from here. So Excuse me. Sorry about that. My throat wants to, not quite, it wants to growl at you. I've eaten, so I know I'm not hungry. Maybe it just wants some coffee. Okay. Got lots and lots to do, but such a pain. Looking, neoing. You're neo-2ing in the ink house, Jackie? Oh, that's cool. Hang on, I missed something. Yeah, I know, Zarga. It's not there yet, and that is my fault. It won't happen until Monday, and the reason why is because it says when I submitted it with the best of CLAldridge mandalas, and then as a subtitle, I put extraordinary coloring books for extraordinary people. That's how this one got printed. When I submitted it last night, I tried to add the words 48 fan favorite designs after the word mandalas in my title, and the automatic checking system kicked it back this morning at 5 o'clock in the morning. And since it's a 24-hour cycle after I fixed it and submitted it, I won't then hopefully get a re-review of it until tomorrow morning. So at the hopefully at the latest. They do it within, they say 24 to 72 hours, but I've never had it take longer than 24. So yeah, I screwed up. Otherwise, it would have been available today. And that's an Amazon rules violation. And I had kind of forgotten that I, should not add words to the title until the thing is live. And even then, you can't do it without the risk of getting it kicked back. Amazon had to put a lot of checks and controls into place after a particular incident that happened last year. So that's why a lot of us are having to jump through hoops that we didn't have to jump through before, and not do stuff that we used to. All because of a couple of bad actors. But isn't that the way about, a few people ruin it for everybody else? And what happened is that they were keyword stuffing books to try and give them an unfair advantage in search. So now if it isn't actually in the title, you can't put it in. It really does, Susie. And it just takes one and then the person got away with a lot of money. I mean, we're not talking about small change here. We're talking about millions of dollars that were lost. So I'm just glad that they got caught and got stopped. That's kind of pretty. I'm liking that. I'm liking that quite a lot. Okay, that's got a fair amount of pigment on it. Let's see if we can use a nice light shade of pink, like maybe the Deco Pink, and lightly blend that out. Yeah, I think it could still use another, or take another little bit of color. It's raining here again. I don't know whether but it's been raining on and off all day long. Thank you, Deb. Thanks, Donna. Um, and I'm just really glad that the air conditioning is on, because hopefully it will keep the mold out of the house. Or, because how the mold makes me cough, and I haven't coughed all day, so. I may need to add just a tad darker color of purple in there to bump that contrast up toward the centers. So let me see. What does the Imperial Violet look like? Probably a little too dark. The dioxazine purple. Yeah, that's way too dark. How about the violet? That's it. Okay, so we'll use a little bit of the violet just in the very darkest areas. Another channel that I started watching recently is called The Crazy Lamp Lady. What she does is she has her intro says, it's what her family calls her superpower, the ability to see value in things that most people throw away. And so she regularly goes thrifting at the Goodwill and junk stores and antique outlets and malls and things like that, looking for the overlooked. And then she sells the stuff in her Etsy shop. And it's not stuff it's not super expensive, but like she'll buy a beautiful lamp and redo the wiring and find the right shade for it, and it goes from being something that got given away to something that someone will pay $150 for, that kind of thing. So and and she's got a great personality. She's just a ton of fun to watch, and she posts a ton of videos. And she does, she's all the way out front. She might have paid $2 for it at the Goodwill, but she's going to charge $35 for it in her Etsy shop, and she gets it. She completely gets that price for it. So yeah, I'd say she turned a profit. At the end of the day, it's all about making a profit. So now I'm going to do the rest of them. I am at an hour and 27. So I think maybe I'm going to go half, and then we'll figure out the color scheme for a bit. Hopefully in this stream. Yeah, this is about half. So we'll just be very quick about doing these two. Oh, the molds, yeah. They will do that. Mia, I'm assuming you're talking about molds. Thank you, Deb. Okay, and I'll go with this one on the inside. I get tempted to shortcut it and, go with heavier layers, but it really works better with with blending all the light layers into each other. You end up happier with the end result. If you need to color quickly, use markers or something like that. Coloring with pencils is a slow process. It's not super, it doesn't have to be super slow. Once you get really comfortable with your tools, you know how far you can push them before you start laying down so much pigment that you lose your ability to layer. On the other hand, if you need to be a pencil masher, be a pencil masher. There's no right or wrong way to color. You just find the methods that work best for you. If you want to refine your coloring, and color in a particular style or a particular technique, then you need to practice that technique. Remember, guys, the technique isn't in the pencil. It's in your ability to use the pencil, regardless of what brand you're using. So it's really tempting, super tempting to think that the ability to color like so and so is with the Pablos, but it really isn't. It's with the ability to color in that style with anything. Y'all know me. I'm a firm believer that you don't need museum quality pencils unless you're an artist whose work is hanging in museums. And I am not. Alrighty, now I think we can quickly blend these all out. Once again, not pressing hard, just, blending easily over the top with the Deco Pink, which is the lightest pink in the uh, Prismacolor box. This is one of the reasons why I love my tints, though, and my water mediums. Although I've been known to sit and tweak something for hours, put layer after layer after layer of ink tints. Let it dry, add a little more, add another color, layer for depth. Okay. Ooh. Yummy. Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. Thank you for that suggestion, Donna, of the lavender. I think that I am going to make that underneath a, I might just reserve opinion on that. I almost want to make it green. I really kind of want to I'm going to do that. I am going to go ahead and pull that. Where is that dark green I had? Dark green, dark green. Aha. Ooh. Wait. Peacock green. That's a good shade. Yes, I like the peacock green for this. So that is what I'm doing. Not being fancy with it because it's just, these are just those little lines, and I'm just using it to sort of block out color. Oh, it's raining hard. It's raining really hard here. Well, hi, Sky. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday, about how and that's the thing that goes on with those notifications is that if we don't go to each other, like I hardly ever go to your stream, so I don't get your notifications anymore. So now I was over in your stream or on your channel just the other day and re-rang the bell so that I could get notifications again. It's got the Facebook, or not Facebook, the YouTube algorithm says, well, if you're not acting on these notifications, we're just not going to send them to you anymore. Which I just think is so funny. It's like, well, how come you get to decide what time I have? But I need to get over to your channel more, Sky. I'm sorry. It is annoying. I do, on the other hand, when you first sign it, I don't know if you access yours on a laptop or not, but it takes me like 3 minutes to plow my way through all the notifications that come up every time I fire up Google, or up, Chrome, because I use Chrome. And then half of them don't work. Okay, yeah, so just a little bit. I just wanted to add that in a little bit. Now I'm also going to use this color probably somewhere, maybe here. But what I'm actually going to do, actually, you know what? I'm not going to do that because I want these to be green. I don't want these to be green. I want those to be green. So we'll just erase it. We'll just erase it and pretend it didn't happen. Or erase as much of it as we can. I don't think a kneaded eraser works on this. No. Oh well. Gold. That's what I want. So I'm going to take canary yellow. And go around these. And this. And I'm probably using medium pressure. I'm actually laying down I don't know, a fairly substantial layer. Excuse me. See, I go to talking about not coughing. And then suddenly I do. And I'm actually going to put it in here too. Now, Lori over at Color My World goes through these pencils, the canary yellows, by the dozen. She actually buys them by the dozen. Hang on one, guys. I'm going to mute you. Sorry about that. You don't want to listen to me cough my head off. I don't think. Hi, Charlotta. How are you? Oh, who is Judith? Oh, no. Glue what back on? Well, I'm totally lost. Oh, you poor Becky. I can't believe that happened to you, Becky. That's silly. Talking about satin glaze. Okay. Okay, so anyway, Lori orders these by the dozen because she uses it a lot as a highlighter. And if you look at it, it really is the color of yellow highlighter pen. And it was from Lori that I learned about using the neons as highlights because they're such a versatile color pencil in the Prismacolor sets. So now remember, I'm only going to color half of this, so I worry that you guys are going to get bored. This is turning out to be very pretty. I'm not usually this good at picking my colors. I love it. Okay, but these are looking good together. Very, very good together. Okay, so now we want to do a little gold work. And in order to do that, I need a couple of things. I need, not that one. I'm going to try the light umber and my personal favorite pencil, or one of them. Actually, my personal favorite is the sunburst yellow or the Spanish yellow, or the Spanish orange. Either one of these are my two favorites. This, however, is the goldenrod, which I also is apparently one that Lori buys by the dozen for just this particular reason. So I'm going to start out here at the edges, because what I want to do is I want to create like loops So I bring this in or up, and then I'm going to leave this part here, over the apex. And then these are going to be like 2. So the apex of this, where it would be the top of the loop, would be here. And it's really just a variation on what I did here in the center. And then I'm going to use the brown, or actually it's the light umber. In much the same way, go over it maybe a little bit with this. And then use the canary yellow again and go over the top of it and see how close I'm getting to what I want. Because doing it like this, and I'm pulling from the ends, and it should create a nice blend. And if it's not quite enough, you can always go back and add it in a little further up. And just sort of experiment on it with one until you get it where you want it, and then you can apply that all the way around. Now, I think I am going to hold off, guys, on doing a book giveaway until next week, only because I want to, with this one, I want to be able to make it so that it's not limited to just a PDF. And I want it to be able to be available through all the Amazons so that I could send one to somebody and it wouldn't cost me, 14 arms and a leg to ship it from the United States. Because I'd make it open to individuals or to international as well. So if that's okay with everyone. Okay. So that's okay. We can try that and see how that works. Oh, Donna, that's so funny. Yes. Oh, Deb, did I beat you to it? Well, now, wait a minute. Mr. Dev, I seem to remember something about Star Wars. May the fourth be with you. What happened? And if you say it was because I was on, I'm going to say, uh-uh, because I was only on as an impromptu. Oh, but I thought you had that scheduled. Didn't you have that scheduled, Dev? I mean, I know you did you talked about it quite a bit, but I confess that I knew I wasn't going to be able to be there, so I really didn't listen. Huh. Okay. All right. Yeah, okay. Well, maybe I got it wrong then on the date. But anyway, the bottom line is you're going to be on next, and we're all going to be there. At least I'm going to be there. I hope everybody else will be too. Okay, so now I'm going to work it in because I want this one to be like it rolls this way. You know what I mean? So what we're going to have is rolly gold pieces all over the place. I love my rolly gold pieces. And of course, it'll have some gems in it too. And to the outside, I may end up with also a bit of a darker shade on the very outer edges of this, but for right now, we'll stick with just the brown. Work my way back in with the canary yellow. Just a little bit over all of that. Ooh, and it is Cinco de Mayo as well. So happy Cinco de Mayo to anybody who celebrates Cinco de Mayo. It is a very important day, Mexican Independence Day. The day that they, I believe it's Mexican Independence Day, the day they declared their independence from Spain. Okay, goldenrod. I don't know if this shows up for you guys the way that it looks on my page, but it's awfully pretty. Okay, now I'm just going to lightly blend with the lightest shade. Yeah. Ooh. See, that's just lovely. I hope that hang on, I'm just trying to see if that shows up for you guys as being, you know, it almost looks metallic. Almost looks metallic. Hi, Christina. I don't think I even saw you there. Okay. We'll see you in a few or later. Thank you. Thank you, Christina. And yeah, I love the way that comes out. It takes a while, and it's not, this one isn't perfect. It probably will be by the time I get done tweaking it, because you know I'm sort of that way. It does need However, it does need one last thing, and that is a tiny bit darker. This is the dark umber, and I'm just going to go along the very sort of outside edge, just along the outline, and only about the pencil tip's width. I don't want to, I don't want to outline it. Just want to, I'm going to do the same thing with this one right here, just very, very lightly. And what it's really doing is just giving that tiny hint of a shadow. And this, I think that because this is green, the peacock green, the inside of these could also be the peacock green. A, because they are leaf shaped, but B, because then it looks sort of like the green underneath has leaked out into these areas. And I'm just going very lightly with that color because it's really just an experiment right now to see how that would look and whether or not we might want to add a lighter or a brighter shade of green to it later. I'm going to wait until I decide what greens are going to go into there. So you see how I can you see why when I draw a mandala, it's not an ordinary mandala. It's just, it's like this. I'm trying to give you guys a vision into what I see when I draw these things by talking my way through coloring it. And so you know what I'm doing. Okay, once again, this is the goldenrod. Since now I learned on that one, I know how far to go to the top. And it looks like I am 5 minutes over on Deb's time. Deb, I apologize to everybody. I did not realize that. I am going to go ahead and get off. And I will say thank you to everyone who was here. Thank you for all the thumbs up. Thank you for your purchases of this book, for your support of my art. Please, until we meet again, color something pretty. I'm sorry that I am running out, but it's time for Dev. Here is a link. If you do not already have one, and also be sure to join Belinda and Shalene later on today. I'm sure that Deb will hand off to one or the other of them, and there we go. It is The Modernist Colorist, and we'll see you there. Bye, everybody. Thank you for coming.